Oh my God, hold on. So this is a Destiny thing. I'm not bringing it up because it's on Facebook, so I'm not going to show it. But let's listen to this shit. So this woman's, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, we can, oh, this is, oh, she's so Karen. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Nope, wrong one. Slow motion, see me let go. And I know, oh my God, I'm going to cringe out of my skin. Okay.
Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Reggie here, and I'm over in South Columbus, my old stomping grounds. And just let me tell you, I'm at my mom's house. Was unloading some Christmas stuff as we decorate, and saw these two young, awesome people walking down the street. But you know, just looked a little out of place in South Columbus. I mean, in my old neighborhood, I'm a minority. I love my neighbors; they're awesome people. But I did stop these two young folks and asked them what they were doing in this neighborhood, which was a very interesting conversation ensued. So I asked them if I could interview them. So get ready for a treat. We're going to talk, and we're going to keep it cool and honest. So let me turn this camera around and introduce these two young folks. All right, hello.
My name is Steven.
Hi, Steven.
Hi, I'm Erin.
Steven and Erin. Steven, where are you from?
I'm from California.
And you?
I'm from Atlanta.
And what are you two guys doing out here in South Columbus up and down this street?
So we're down here knocking on doors, making sure that people are aware that there's a runoff election on the 5th, and to make sure that people have already voted, or to make sure they have a plan to vote, and then offering signs in support of John Ossoff or Reverend Warnock in the yards if they're interested.
So you, when you're knocking on doors, you're you have a list of specific Democrat, registered Democrat voters.
Yes.
Right. And so what has been the feeling that you're getting? Is this your first day out in this area?
No, we were actually here last week doing something similar in a similar area in Columbus. So.
So, you know, I want my conservative friends to hear what we're talking about. You know, a lot of times we get information and see what's actually being said on the street one-on-one when you're talking to people about voting. So tell me why you think people should vote for John Ossoff, Mr. Warnock.
I think that John Ossoff and Warnock can do a good job in the Senate of delivering on a couple of key issues that I feel like the Republicans haven't so far. So, namely stuff related to the coronavirus relief fund that McConnell hasn't passed or looked at in the Senate, and then stuff related to the
I can't turn it up anymore, by the way. I know it's really low.
economy and jobs, and stuff related to healthcare.
So what wasn't passed in the Senate by McConnell that is holding up the that they could do better? Because I think it had a lot to do with just both sides of the House not coming together and agreeing on some things in that relief bill. Is that true?
So the House actually passed multiple really large bills for relief. I think the final one that Pelosi put on McConnell's desk was for about $1.8 trillion. And McConnell, after they confirmed ACV, called a recess in the Senate, and they just
Slow down a little bit. You're talking fast. You're from
Oh,
California.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
We're from the South, but we talk slower.
It seemed like there was a lot of money that was coming out of the House that the Senate didn't want to put up to a vote. And that was really disappointing. So,
All right, so you know inside of that bill, do you know everything that was in there? Oh. That's this street. That's bad.
yeah.
And see, you don't want to yell at some of these folks because you don't know what's going to pop. All right, so what do you know everything that was in that bill? Did everything in that bill have to do with the coronavirus? Because you're particularly picking out the coronavirus. I'm just asking you.
No, I don't think any individual congressperson or lawmaker is familiar with every single thing in a particular bill.
All right, so I'm going to say that I am familiar with what's in that, and there was a lot of fat of things that didn't have anything to do with that and that would end up costing taxpayers a whole lot more money. So being fiscally responsible with McConnell looking after that, he said, you know, we needed to come back to the table and trim some of that out. That needed to come in another form of funding, not like for the arts. And
so I guess when you talk about passing major legislation through Congress, there's usually a lot of riders and stuff attached because it's hard to get individual legislation passed. Something that I'm interested about is it seems very strange to use the fiscal responsibility argument when Trump has ran some of the largest budget deficits in U.S. history. I don't understand why it's such a big deal to pass some type of stimulus, but it's okay to spend so much more money on tax cuts to large corporations.
all right, tell me, you're from California, right?
Yeah.
So your state is in a terrible state. I mean, with money, with homelessness, with drug abuse, with prostitution.
Well,
with
I think drug abuse right now is a huge problem in a lot of red states in the Midwest, which is actually originally where I'm from, Nebraska. So things like meth.
You're from Nebraska, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I lived for 30 years.
We have some meth issues everywhere. Let's just say from that.
Mainly in the Midwestern
So Nancy
areas.
Pelosi's district, almost every Democrat from the House, the Senate, Congress, over their districts are in terrible trouble and very poor.
Republican ones are hurting too, but yeah.
So how many Republicans do we have? Let's compare. How many people from California's districts are majorities that are hurting? I mean, I'm just saying you're in Georgia talking about why we should vote for these folks. So you got to answer
I
that.
think that we have a vested interest in the entire United States of getting a Democrat agenda passed legislatively. That's what I'm interested in. Because it seems like after several years of Trump, it doesn't seem like we got very much help related to the coronavirus stuff or anything related to
Did he
healthcare.
get that vaccine put through pretty quickly that's going to save a lot of lives?
I don't think he personally researched it, but yeah, the vaccines have made tremendous progress. It would have been nice if he took it seriously a little bit earlier. Maybe we could have pushed that along a little bit.
So
quicker.
how earlier would that have been once we found out?
So probably around the time that he banned travel from China, and when the United States waited about a month and a
But
half.
he got criticized for banning people traveling from China right
Donald
away.
Trump is the president of the United States. He should be able to handle a little bit of criticism.
Everybody should.
Sure.
Absolutely.
So there was about a month and a half period after we banned travel from China, between China and Europe, where the United States wasn't able to get testing or anything off the ground. And it seems like we could have done a little bit more during that time.
So are you excited about the coronavirus vaccine? Are you going to take it?
Yeah, I definitely will.
And you're going to take it too? Absolutely. So we're at a good place because that is historic, record-breaking time to get a vaccine out there. And most of the people that passed away from it or from the flu did not meet the numbers that we meet from flu, the regular flu dying every year, but elderly, with people with diabetes, people with obesity, they had other complications. So
Which is even more of a reason to take
exactly.
the virus
But
very
you know what
seriously.
they just said? What Biden's going to pass when as soon as he gets in, that minorities are going to get first priority to get the
I
vaccination.
don't think that minorities are going to. I think it's probably going to go to health responders and healthcare providers first. Before
They
anything
should.
else.
Military,
I'm pretty sure that's
military
what's gonna
too.
happen.
Military
I don't know
too.
if the military needs it first, but I know that our first
They will.
responders
Yeah,
and the healthcare
they have
people
to because they
definitely
travel.
need it. Okay.
So they will have to have that first. They will start having theirs in January. So okay, we obviously disagree on a lot of things. You said that you think Biden is the best for the nation. You think for Georgians, and you're from Atlanta, so you would say that you felt that same way too. So how did you come to be volunteers to take this on? Was it something that was a passion with yourselves that you felt that strongly to go to the party and say, I want to do this, or did they come looking for you?
It's definitely a passion project, and then we've organized this with basically a bunch of friends, and yeah.
Okay. So how have you felt about knocking on doors, even on this street so far? I mean, people been friendly, receptive? What are you
most people
getting?
are incredibly friendly. Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
We haven't had pretty much anybody be rude to
Yeah.
us.
No rude interactions or anything.
I knock on these doors all the time. Now, there are going to be a few places, but you guys, So, a lesson learned for everybody out on the street. What kind of lessons have you learned? I mean, how long have you been doing this? You just getting here?
It's
Or?
like our second or third week doing this, so between the two of us, we probably knocked on maybe 200 houses, I think. So not too much yet, but yeah, I mean, I think it's been a really overwhelmingly positive experience so far.
Yeah,
So what do you think about the fraud in the voting, especially in Fulton County, what they're finding? What do you think about the video where they actually found the people committing the fraud? What do you think about that?
Is this the one with?
This woman is incredibly calm, and I was looking at the comments under the video before we played it, and it's like Stacey Abrams' finest douchebags. Look at the T-shirt on him. What a weasel! What the fuck? Ask him if they think by. I'm gonna rethink singing those songs real loud in about 2 seconds. Ask him about if they think. Ask him what they think about Biden. Are you doing that on purpose? Fuck. All right. I'm sorry. I can't think with them doing that. There are some funny comments.
That were actually and deals with Dominion and were paid off.
If that's true, I would be even more upset. if
concerned
Donald
as an
Trump was the
American?
well, I'd be upset with the president because they were in charge of a lot of these federal judiciary picks, and if their picks are dropping the ball, I mean, that was like one of the most important jobs delegated to the executive branch. So if they're not able to do those jobs of reviewing those cases correctly, that's even more worrisome, I think, for the current president, and a stronger argument for another one
So
to be in there.
how high of education do both of you have?
I'm a college dropout.
You're a college, and you're same. What level did you get to?
Year 2 or 3. I was working, so my last couple of years were pretty.
What was your major?
I wanted to major in music.
Music, really? What kind of music?
I play saxophone, and I wanted to do a composition.
So you're very artsy in that way. You have that. My son's a musician. I'm just asking. And you?
I was an English major. Yeah, my parents met they were just over the line for significant hope, and so I had to work and go to school full time. Couldn't handle it. I had to drop out.
Okay.
Yep.
So would you say that hate Trump syndrome is a real illness? I mean, that people really just hate, like, that's a horrible word.
I
Do
never
they
heard
hate
that
him?
version.
I don't hate Biden. I'm
sure
just saying
there are
I
people that do
don't
hate
hate
Trump, but I mean, there are people that hate all sorts of political figures.
I-
I mean,
yeah.
we're in 2020.
It's-
I'm
it's
still
a
hearing
deep-
news about Hillary and Obama. So,
Do you feel like it's politics is a sport?
for a lot of people, yeah, for sure.
So sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
I think so.
Yeah, but unfortunately,
Sometimes
the
you got to
stakes-
sing the blues.
Yeah, but the stakes are very high right now. But yeah,
They
sometimes
are.
you win and sometimes you lose. Yeah, of course.
Okay. So how did you travel all the way from California? Who paid your fare and all of that to get here?
I paid myself.
You bought your own ticket here.
Mhm.
You came to Georgia because of the runoff.
Yep.
Okay. So you felt like this runoff was that important that you needed to be present.
Yes.
All right. So going forward, because we feel like the Republican conservatives are going to win this election. So, and we are, eyeballs on everything. Going forward, you go back to California, you go back to Atlanta to your life, and you wait for the next election. What do you do?
I don't know. I talk about politics a lot. It's a big part of what I do and who I am. I'll probably follow elections all throughout the country and continue to
You
do
ever
so.
think about running for office?
Maybe. I don't know if I would be that's as fulfilling for me or if I would enjoy that as much. So,
You're not sure. You like working this kind of way with it, right?
yeah, maybe this is fun.
Okay. So you're being honest with me about not being paid. You said you're both volunteers, right? You are not being paid to do this. I mean, your accommodations are not being paid?
Absolutely.
You're paying your own hotel,
I am,
paying
yeah.
for your own.
So this woman is obviously politically educated, and I think she's trying to nail them in a gotcha. I think she's trying to find something in there. Like her title on this is, so on my mom's street, two young folk are knocking on doors for Warnock and Ossify. Oh, it's okay. So the way she spells Warnock is war, as in war, and knock, Knock, and then Ossif is Ossify. I don't know if that's intentional or a boomer typo. I wanted to interview them. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's have a listen in South Columbus. So she's, it sounds like she's trying to get them in a gotcha.
Own food to do this.
Yep.
Guys, seriously? I mean, where do you have that much kind of money to do that, to travel like that? I mean,
Well, we're Democrats, I guess.
Holy shit.
well, I mean, I know plenty of Republicans have money to do that too. They say that we're the white privilege. I'm just asking,
Is the
So-
implication that you think that we wouldn't be out here otherwise if there wasn't some like nefarious force paying for us to come down here?
No,
or-
I'm just asking because there are.
Sure.
There
okay.
are.
I don't think you are, but I'm just asking because there are. But I don't think you are, but I'm still going to ask it, even though I don't think it, but I'm still going to ask it.
So, I mean, and it's okay. There is a lot of money that floats around, and it's an honest question.
Yeah, of course.
It's an honest question to ask that because, I mean, that can get expensive pretty
course.
quickly,
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you thought about it, and have you run into any of the other people door knocking for the opposition?
No, I don't think we've seen any of them
I
out here
haven't
so
seen
far.
anybody door knocking.
Listen to our folks to do that because we're supposed. Freedom Works and some other organizations actually have people outdoor knocking all over Columbus
It might
too.
just be that we've missed them. Or
Yeah,
maybe
or maybe that
Democrats
you guys, when you go for the Democratic list to look at it, you're going to look at certain parts of this city, this county, and you're going to see where the majority votes or whatever on that. But that's not always necessarily true. So, what about, because my parents are both dead and they both got ballots, absentee
Well, it's good that they
ballots.
didn't turn them in, I guess, because that would be voter fraud. So.
Oh no, I destroyed them. But yeah, I mean, there is voter fraud. It's always been at every election. There's voter fraud.
So hard to find any. They haven't found
So what about Dominion? I'm telling you, election night, I watched the numbers
The real
flip.
question is, we knew those Dominion machines were going to be used prior to any election.
I
Why are we
know.
only complaining about them after Donald Trump lost 4 or 5 key states?
Okay, so why did Hillary complain after she lost?
Hillary ceded the next day. She conceded immediately when
She
she lost the
did,
election.
but she
Donald
did.
Trump has carried this one for weeks now.
Yeah.
I don't think those are really comparable.
You know what? I
Uh-huh.
think we can be a little bullish for the next 4 years and just take our point and go after it too. What about McCain's son and his issues?
McCain's son or Hunter Biden's?
I'm sorry,
You're talking about him?
Biden's son, right?
if Biden's son was running for president, I'd be very concerned. But if we were going to look at like nepotism or something, I think I would much more closely look at somebody like Ivanka Trump that's been scoring dozens of patents to do business in China, or the large sums of money that Trump owes, or the fact that Kushner is playing key roles in government. There's like so many different like.
Okay, but has any of
So this woman is prepared to debate. She has her topics. Granted, they're the same milquetoast conservative topics that we've heard for the last month and a half. But I know, and I think Steven even said something about this in chat, I know that she didn't expect him to be like this.
them have any trails of money?
Everyone who has ever said, I want Steven to debate my mom, they're getting like a preview of what it would be like. Granted, this is only 20 minutes and we'd want them to go an hour or two and really flesh out items instead of skipping to the next every time he refutes one of them. But this is like the preview of what everyone wants, which is, Steven, please debate my mom.
Any that they found like him? Do they have any definite proof of any of that? What you just said, you just listed off some names. They've been business people for a long time.
Yeah, but business people in the presidency,
Jewelry
isn't that kinda
business.
weird? I don't know if I want like the president like to have a huge business and be making U.S.
Why?
policy at the same time. Well, it seems like there'd be like a mighty conflict.
He
of
doesn't.
interest
He
there.
gives up every bit of his salary. Is
it-
Biden going to do that?
I don't know, but I don't. Having somebody that gives up their salary just means they have so much money coming in from other places they don't need the salary. There's
I
a
think it's
reason
an
why-
honest. I think it's honest to do that.
It's totally the opposite. There's a
Because he
particular
has
reason-
money. He said, I'm not going to take this. I'm
Well,
going to
it's
give
to-
it back
to
to the
trick
American
into
people.
Thinking he's being somewhat altruistic, but the reality is that he's
So he can't
benefiting.
really be altruistic?
Well, he could be.
I mean,
So, like, for instance, like divesting the interest in his company, not appointing family members to key positions
so
in government.
anybody that's a business person cannot be in office.
It makes it very hard to do so with the way that doesn't make you come off. So, for
So
instance,
John
like with,
Kerry, John Kerry,
uh-huh.
very wealthy man, right?
well, I don't know
Vietnam
that
vet, very, yeah, he was off of his wife's ketchup, the Heinz people. And then Biden, his wife, and they went into other kinds of businesses that made errors along with
and I would
them.
hope that as he assumes the presidency, that they divest their interest in those businesses, that they're no longer like fully invested.
You hope so. I hope
Yeah,
so
would hope
too.
so, yeah.
All right. Well, you know what, guys? It's been interesting to meet you. Thank you for your conversation. I hope that someone that you work for or volunteer for got to see you today and how you perform
Okay.
out there doing that. I hope you have a safe trip back to California. I want you to get off of these streets before dark. I don't know how much more you intended to do down that way.
Sure.
I would say go back,
Okay.
go home for the evening.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
what is this?
Yes.
Not so subtle. It's getting dark. You should probably go home. Yeah, like, go back. Go home. Go.
Go. Go eat at Country's Barbecue downtown, Macon. It's not downtown, it's Macon. And at the river, we are actually, if you go down Victory Drive and go all the way down to Chattahoochee River, that's all the college campus down there. It's their arts and music department.
I'll keep that in mind.
It's all that. They're
I'm curious. Can I ask you a pointed question? I'm so
Sure,
curious.
go ahead.
Okay. So, when it comes to stuff like the voter fraud,
Uh-huh.
right, and the voter fraud thing exists. So, why is it that all of Trump's judges, all of the other governors, all of the states that are recounting, the Department of Homeland Security Cyber Crimes Division, the FBI, the NSA, even Barr that Trump fired, all of these people have said there's
Did
no
Barr
voter
have a
fraud.
relationship with that was with Biden earlier on and
Oh, man. Mike from PA could learn some pivoting lessons from this woman.
had actually been invested in Dominion?
If he had been, then why did Donald Trump make
Did
him
he not
attorney
know that?
general? Why wouldn't Donald Trump know that?
I
He
don't
has
know.
access to more
Those are,
information than
that
any
is
individual
that's a
in the-
curious question. And so when here's how I go with it. Here's how I roll in my head with it, because we're all like spinning. Everybody's head spinning. From Biden's side to spinning, Trump's side to spinning. It's like we all ask that. Why didn't he? Could he do anything till it actually played itself
do you
out?
think that, like, it's
But wait a minute,
possible?
I'm going to answer your question.
Yeah, okay.
You said so. I believe that when you are going to drain the swamp of career politicians that have been in office 40 some years, which I believe in term limits because it breeds corruption to get them out of there. Biden's had 40 some years to be a politician to make
He's done
something
some
happen or
amazing
doing.
things in the
I
meantime.
don't know anything amazing he's
passed
done.
the Violence Against Women Act, which reduced the amount of violence that women suffer.
He
at
didn't
home.
pass that act.
He absolutely did. It was the most important provision of the crime bill.
He didn't
in
write that
94.
bill.
Huh?
He didn't write the
He
bill.
absolutely did. It was the one thing that he championed. He was also one of the first legislators.
Someone
in the
wrote
Senate.
it for him and he signed it.
No,
he did
was
not write it.
Also one of the first legislators to bring any sort of climate change awareness to the Senate as well. And he was an important person.
Are
in
you
Obama's
really
administration.
worried about climate change?
Hi, Lynnie.
Well, I am, because I have to live through it, yeah. And my son has to live through it, yeah.
Okay, I mean,
You're
I do
old.
too.
You don't really have to.
Yeah. I don't think there's anybody that wouldn't agree we need to pay attention to those things.
Well, Donald
Well,
Trump
I think we
doesn't
can
try to
come
make it
together.
illegal.
I mean, he's passed some pretty important bills that really protect that too. I think maybe
I
do
think
your
so. He's been
homework on
stripping
those.
Protections from the EPA.
All right, but I'm going to go back to your question.
Sure, okay.
Draining the swamp. I think getting rid of career politicians, because once you've been in so long, we don't have fresh eyes, we don't have fresh, so like yourself, you're fresh.
Wait, is this going to answer? Because she's talking about draining the swamp. All Steven was saying, like, how are all these things going to come up with regards to election fraud, and even Trump's judges and these governors and his cabinet, all these people were saying, actually, it's fine. It was super secure. We're good. And we're now on draining the swamp. So let's see how this circles back.
You got a fresh mind. You got your own mind. I hope you do. I see that you guys both do. So when you have to drain the swamp, when you have to get in and get career politicians up again so they have a chance, he's had a chance to serve the public. He's almost 80 years old. He'll be 80 years old serving. He obviously has, I do not hate the man. I don't have any Biden hate syndrome or anything. I'm very pro-life. You've seen my sticker on my car. Kamala Harris has emphasized, I think Biden needs to be excommunicated from the church if he accepts her as his running mate. These are my strengths. This is where I come from. You asked me where I come from.
Sure, I understand.
I'm telling you where I
grew
come
up
from.
Roman Catholic, so
Yes.
sure.
Okay, I am too. So I
To
say,
Jesuit high school and everything, all boys high
I went to
school.
Catholic high school, Catholic schools. So if the Catholic Church is even becoming divided lately because we have a socialist pope.
Well, the problem is that a lot of Catholics don't remember apparently any of the Bible that they've studied. They
Yeah.
actually follow through any of the Gospels. The four
And I'm
Gospels,
not
Matthew,
going to
Mark,
debate
Luke,
you
and
on that
Yeah,
because
but
I
the
understand
life that Jesus led is
we
quite
do
different.
we don't learn the Bible the same way a lot of other religions do. We can't quote Bible like a lot of other people do.
Sure,
Mike
but
Pence
we
quoted
can-
the Bible the
we
other
have a
day.
general understanding of how Scripture is written and like the idea behind Jesus and God and everything. And it seems like we've moved. At least the Republican Party seems to have strayed pretty far away from that. But
But back to my point.
back to your point.
Biden should be excommunicated. I do not care for Kamala at all because of her very, very strong, she doesn't have children, so she doesn't really know. I mean, the way she feels about killing children.
Wait, again, I'm sorry. How are we talking about excommunicating Biden from the church? How is that where we're at? Sorry, I'm trying to talk low, so I'm not too much higher than the video. But how is... I don't get it. I don't get it. How are we here? How did we end up to fucking Biden getting excommunicated from Destiny's pointed question about the fucking election fraud?
Is babies, full-term babies.
Yeah, I don't think anybody believes
Killing
in
him.
that.
She does.
Nobody believes in that.
She's okay with that.
Nobody's okay with it.
Who? Kamala? How are you saying nobody?
Because she's not. I don't
She-
think anybody's okay with
Tell
killing
me,
full-term
prove to
babies.
me how Kamala is not. When she said she is okay with that, I've
I
heard
think
her
the
interviewed.
statements that people have made is that if a full-term abortion...
Then why
is-
doesn't she come back out and make that clarify that then?
Because if full-term abortions are necessary, that's a decision that should probably be left between a mother and a doctor. A mother that's probably...
Why would a full-term a baby need to be murdered?
Well, you said you have 2 children, right? I have a child of my own. There are lots of complications that can arise.
I had
from
very much a
pregnancy.
complication with mine. I would have never done something like that.
That's awesome, and I'm so glad that you had the ability to make that decision without the government coming in and telling you which decision you had.
Yeah,
to
but they
make.
shouldn't come in and tell you that, we need to kill this baby either because it's a...
That's not, that decision isn't up to
You
the
can't
government.
control every one of those
Of course not,
decisions.
but you're the one that wants to control
Government wants to get in there and control
You're
that.
the one that wants to control
All right,
it, though.
so who
Oh my god, my head is spinning. This woman is fucking... Wow. All over the fucking place. Like, and he's fucking pushing her. This is fucking battery. This is verbal assault and battery. Because he just like pummels her back into a fucking corner. Steven, stop hitting women with your words.
who do you think what babies are killed more than anybody? Who's aborted?
I wonder if is it African American babies?
Lots of black
Yeah,
babies.
that's
So
right
black
down
lives
this
do
one.
matter. Hello. Black lives matter, but not when you kill babies over and over and over and over again. So
I think we should
where I
increase the
come from
amount
on
of
this,
sex
and
education, the amount of contraception available.
I've taught
and a
sex
lot of
ed.
people-
I don't have a problem with
then we
that.
should do stuff like
So I have, my opinion is seasoned, long-term, way too long in there, need to go. Biden has been in there way too long. Kamala Harris hasn't proved one damn thing in California that she's done right. I wouldn't want to mimic that
Kamala
state.
Harris had a was it the Jump Start program?
Yeah,
I
she
think,
likes
that she
felons to
did?
get out of prison so they can kill more people.
No,
I'm
think she
debating
does
with you
this.
now.
Well,
All right.
She actually was in charge of some things that like ended up deporting people that a lot of people on the left are upset at her for. But it's interesting the different realities, I guess.
It is.
Yeah.
But you stepped into our world, so I'm asking you, and I'm not disrespecting you.
So Kamala Harris gets a lot of flack because she made it so that if any illegal immigrant was even charged with a crime, they
She's
could be
quiet.
referred to ICE.
She's
and
there.
deported-
She's quiet. She's listening.
Yeah, they could be deported back out of the United States. So I mean, like Kamala Harris has gotten a lot of flack for being like a little bit too tough on crime.
Don't like her. Would never vote for her. Biden doesn't bother me except that he's way too old, and he is a career politician. He's been in there too long. He's too old to make these choices. He stumbles. He can't even read
And he should be also excommunicated from the church. Don't forget, she just fucking said that.
without a teleprompter now. He tried. He hid in the basement for long, but it's very hard and sad to watch that man struggle. And
I think
and his
we've
wife
seen
really.
both him and Trump talk
He's
to each
not
other.
going to be in
I
there
think
very
they
long.
can
You
talk-
know that.
if
You
he
know
only has to
Kamala's
make it
going to
4
try to
years,
step
even
up.
If he only makes it 1 year, I would take Kamala Harris, I think, over the disastrous presidency of Donald Trump so far. So.
Oh God! Look, just because someone is a color or a race doesn't mean that the first of them is going to be what we need and is right for everybody.
Okay, then Kamala Harris wouldn't be the first.
I would vote for Condoleezza Rice in a heartbeat. I would
Or
vote
maybe
for.
Colin Powell. I don't know.
I mean, Colin Powell. We loved here at Fort Benning. for
Condoleezza Rice and Colin Powell are also Republicans. So, like, good. I'm glad you're not racist, but you're still fucking one-sided.
many years. Okay, and he was a Republican for many years. So, I mean, there are people of all colors that are deserving and legit. We need fresh people, fresh eyes, fresh sets on things. Coming from a business world, there's so much more to offer. I mean, when we're running a country like a business,
But we don't run the country like a business. That's the problem.
we need to.
But I agree that there's.
But why does everybody need a handout?
So, well,
Why does everybody need a
because some
handout?
some people start off really far behind.
This woman is incredible, fucking amazing. We just went from I have black presidential candidates to fucking why does everyone need a handout? Like, holy shit.
But they get addicted to the system, and they don't do
I
them.
don't think anybody wants to be addicted to the system. I think people generally want to work and provide for their families, but like some people get left really far behind, like right out of the gate. I think that's pretty sad.
All right. Well, if there's anything you would like to add, I'm going to wind this up, and I'm going to say, get careful, get off the streets. It's getting dark.
Sure.
Please, I'm going to hurry you down the road if you don't.
We'll be okay.
No, I don't know where your car is parked. I don't know anything, but
Yeah, we're just right on
I'm
the
looking after you. Okay, pick up. So I want you to be safe. I know that you're out there doing what your passion and you think your heart is, and you've got a lot going on. You're obviously married and have a child. I don't.
son. Yeah.
Okay, son. You said son a few times. I don't know your
She doesn't know.
your situation.
She lacks
but she's from
critical
Atlanta.
information.
Okay.
Atlanta is not the South anymore, girl.
No. Hey, I was born and raised in Austell, Powder Springs, Marietta area, so.
Where?
Marietta?
Marietta, Georgia.
Yeah.
Okay, we've been up there. All right, many times. All right, young people, I need you to
Bless your heart.
stay in tune, stay in touch, stay on the ground, but really listen to other people's side too. Okay, I mean, you were obviously built for this. You're able to speak quickly and talk about what you like. I don't agree with anything you said, but as a teacher and a person, a human American, I wanted to talk to you, and I thank you for taking the time to do that with me today. Okay.
I love watching you guys conversate.
All right. Let me see. Your vote is.
Your vote is your superpower.
Your vote is your superpower. All right. Early voting has started. Ladies and gentlemen, say goodbye to these young folks. If you have anything to add to it, I'm going to give them my Facebook page. They can go look at it on there if they like, or ask other people if they want to. Of course, you know that the Reg is not about either one of those folks that they're out pushing. And then we're in the state of Georgia. They hooked these two folks out to get on the streets, but they're passionate young Americans. So we will, maybe we'll never meet again, but I want you to take good care of yourself, okay?
Thank you.
God bless both of you. And bye, everybody. Talk to you soon.
Sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
Interesting. Okay. Wow. That was some good shit. Wow. Oh, yeah, Lynnie, that's what I needed it for. You can't hear the donation sound at all? I did see that. Thank you, Dunebug. Is it a bit quiet? Here, let me test it. So that was an incredibly entertaining conversation. I really look forward to hearing Steven's thoughts on it since he actually went through it. But wow, that woman was just all over the place. No, I don't want to download, cancel. Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know. I don't know exactly what to think about that. Like, the woman was just the ultimate Trump voter. Look at these comments. Ground game, bravo. Better than misinformation commercials on the air. Blue, someone pro that thing said it. These kids don't have a clue about anything. Just ask how much they are getting paid per day. They're doing it for free, someone said. And okay, so people responded they're not getting paid. I'm 65 years old and there's not one sign of climate change. When a little boy is talking about climate change, it's such... I hate fucking boomer typos. It's such a joke. And then to start acting like he knows about God. What is this little kid? He's said he has a child when he's a child. Not one sign of climate change. That's a sad sentence to read, man. Oh, man. All the DGGers are getting in on this thread. Okay. Jesus. Guys, no. Don't brigade. The woman was respectful. Stupid, but respectful. Like, just, she went from topic to topic, my friends. Holy fuck, that was crazy. She was really good at Stephen, like, because she was about to end it. Like, we were, I think, about a little over halfway through the video, and she was about to end it. And then it seems like I want to ask you a pointed question. And we went, he says, so here's all this stuff about election fraud that you would think that Trump's people would support him, but I'm going to ask you about it. We know where the question was going. Basically, all these Trump people are saying these things about the election fraud not being legit. And then she goes, and that's just fucking zigzag, zigzag. We went all over the place. Incredible. Incredible. Absolutely amazing. Wonderful. My name is Lycan. Please subscribe to my channel, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. I need your subs and I need your support so I can grow my shit bigger. Please, oh please, I don't need donations, just need your follows and adorations. Please, 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 like, subscribe, and follow.